shall be blessed. And so the husband and wife analogy, where male and female he created them, is critical to understanding God. That this covenant agreement, when a man and a woman covenant with each other, they become one. And that oath must never be broken. God takes his word seriously. And that's where we differ with the Qur'an, where it teaches that it's okay to break your oath. It's okay for Muslims to lie to one another. It's okay for a husband to lie to his wife. Where God, this is true, this is what the Qur'an teaches. Say that again? Okay, let me quote it for you. Qur'an 3:28. Let not believers take disbelievers as allies rather than believers. And whoever of you does that has nothing with Allah, unless you're taking precaution against them in prudence. And Allah warns you of himself. So what he's saying here is, don't lie, don't take disbelievers as friends, unless you're going to deceive them. That's okay. That's what the Qur'an is actually saying. In Bukhari 52:269, the Prophet said, war is deceit. Jihad is deceit. In Bukhari 9:89-260, he says, if you ever take an oath to do something, and later on you find that something else is better, then you should expiate your oath and do what is better. The Bible says all liars will be punished. The Bible says it's impossible for God to lie. The Bible says when you make an oath, you must keep it. And the Bible says that God hates divorce.
Okay, we're going to take another question. But Imam, do you want to respond very, very briefly?
Yes, I mean, I have no words. You know, this is very new. I'm hearing very new things tonight. You know, being an Imam, I never expected. First of all, I expected it to be on the topic. But anyways, you know, he's free to do that. I'm just saying that this is, you know, the worst thing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sight is lying. The worst thing. Only in one time lies allowed, it's permissible. That's when your life is in danger wrongfully. When people are persecuting you. God knows that not everybody can be at that high standard as in Christianity. You know, there are people, they are weak of faith. And only to get out of certain persecution or tyranny, they might say something that might be blasphemous in order to save their skin. God will not hold them as sinners. But to God himself in Islam, lying is the worst thing.
So
it is the greatest.
If I can comment on that then. So this is being recorded, and we can research the hadith and find that Muhammad allowed lying. A husband can lie to his wife to preserve the marriage.
That's correct.
Yeah, well,
that's correct. Now, let me explain though, because you see a spin is being given to this. If your wife comes to you and says, am I the most beautiful woman in the world? No, please, really, I mean, let's think about it. All the men here think about that, right? Some truths can actually create problem and hurt people. If your child comes to you, you already know he has a low self-esteem. And he says, oh, Dad, am I the smartest in the world? What are you going to say? No, I have to tell you the truth. You know? No. You know?
Well, this is great, because this is on point. The question at issue, is Allah the God of the Bible? And this very issue of allowance of lying proves that he cannot be the same God. The God of the Bible takes his word very seriously. He created everything with his word. The God of the Bible made a covenant, and Abraham believed him, and because he knows he will never go back on his covenant. And that covenant is pictured as a marriage. He says, O Israel, I'm married to you. Of all the families of the earth, you only have I known. God is faithful. And so how can you trust a God whose word, he tells you it's okay to lie? How can you bet your life on somebody who says, in the afterlife I'm going to give you this, but oh, you know what, it's okay to lie?
Okay, let's have a response. Imam.
Yes, I mean, you know, again, that's totally, you know, spinning it in a different way. As I mentioned again, that a person is expected to be truthful at all times.